reporter that covered Delta Township who showed up at all of our township board meetings. Well, now after the latest rounds of cuts at the Gannett with Jones, they got one reporter that covers all the communities in the county. So as a result, she's never at her meetings, and you know, she may call up after, you know, something to say, well, you know, did something happen? I should write, you know. So it's getting tougher and tougher through the traditional news media to cut through that because they have downsized. They don't have as much staff, so they chase the big story of the day as opposed to, you know, going out there and looking for, you know, what else is going on out there. But, you know, as we've struggled with that, we've also tried to reach out and find other ways to get the message out to the public. You know, like everybody, we've greatly expanded our use of social media, you know, build up, you know, Facebook and, you know, Twitter and other avenues to try to get folks to, you know, receive updates through that means. But you're right, you know, you have to want to go there. You know, you have to be somebody who's also, you know, your constituents who aren't on Facebook, who don't follow Twitter, or are not going to get online and go check your webpage. You know, we obviously put a lot of stuff out on our webpage, but, you know, you have to go and check that out. So there's always a struggle. One of the reasons why we've kept our magazine, we sell the Delta magazine 4 times a year, and we've kept that in part because, you know, someone said, you know, all that stuff can be online and everything, but that's true, but there's a lot of folks who aren't online, and by sending that out, that's something that, you know, at least 4 times a year, we know that we're going to, you know, deliver something into the mailboxes. You know, whether or not it's going to be read, we can never control that, but, you know, at least that's being distributed as a means to put out there. So I think it, you know, continues. You just got to use multiple strategies and hope that you can get the word out. But in terms of, you know, the media itself, it's getting to be tougher and tougher to, you know, cut through, you know, all the other stuff that's out there.
John, I'll give you the opportunity to answer some of these other questions. I want to make sure everyone has a chance. Other questions? We're sure.
Ken and John, we were both talking about events that bring the community together. Unless you said it, when I stepped out for a moment, I didn't hear you say anything about the arts. For example, Grand Ledge has the Opera House, they have Fitzgerald Park, the Grand Ledge High School puts on magnificent performances that draw people from all around. And I think Grand Ledge has a great sense of the community of the arts. I guess my question is, can Delta Township support that kind of thing? Is there state support for that kind of thing in a township like that?
Well, definitely, you know, that's something that we'd like to see more of. Yeah, you know, the closest we have now, we have concerts in Sharp Park during the summer months, but I'd like to see more movement towards, you know, maybe art fairs or things of that nature. I agree 100% that Grand Ledge has done a fantastic job of all the parades and festivals and, you know, things they have throughout the year. They have done probably the best job of any community in creating that sense of, you know, just community purpose and identity and stuff. But, you know, those are the types of things that we want to look at creating more. And quite frankly, too, that's one of the reasons why we started the I Am Delta campaign. You've seen the banners along Saginaw and painted on the water tower. We kind of got a little bit of a challenge as a township. Half of our residents have a Lansing address, and they kind of associate with the city of Lansing. The other half of the township has a Grand Ledge address and associate with Grand Ledge. And, you know, getting people to think, no, we are Delta. We're not Grand Ledge, we're not Lansing, we're Delta Township is difficult. And that's something that, you know, we really have been working on to try to get folks to, you know, realize, you know what, you can be in the Waverly School District or the Grand Ledge School District, but you still come together and be Delta Township and enjoy the great things that make us a unique community all of our own. So I agree, we need to find ways to try to expand the arts. One of the things we talked about, we're right now is in the beginning development stages of a new park down on the Mount Hope Highway near Nixon Road, some land that the township already owned, and then we just received not too long ago a grant, so we're looking to, you know, potentially buy some land next to it to create a larger piece of the property that we'll build a park on. But one of the things through the community visioning sessions that we had to get that input of the community, we had several forums and stuff where the public was invited to come in and to see different plans and to give comments so we could go back and tweak them. that's something that kind of came through loud and clear. People are saying they wanted more things associated and focused on the arts in Delta Township. So that got incorporated in some of the discussions at the planning in terms of possibly, as we move forward on that, having some type of community center that can become some types of a facility that could house, things associated with the arts. So that's something that we've heard those concerns, and we're trying to find a way to incorporate it and move forward.
We're also lucky at being part of a region that is very rich in the arts. Grand Ledge, Charlotte, the Wharton Center, and all of the stuff that's associated with that. Lansing Community College Dart Auditorium puts on some interesting things. I really miss the Boar's Head Theater that no longer is putting on. But you do have the Riverwalk Theater. So we are part of a larger community that offers a lot of opportunities in the arts. And we've got new art going up at the township offices.
Absolutely, it's a beautiful piece that will be in the spring once we get it all landscaped and everything. But it's called Stop and Smell the Roses. It's that's what we like to say about Delta Township. We're a great place to come and stop and raise your family and put down some roots. So we're looking forward to having that. But public art is very important, and that's something the library. There's several pieces of art around the library. We're having the art piece installed at the Township Hall. It's something that we want to see expanded throughout the rest of the township. And funding from the state for the arts and stuff.
That's one of the things actually we talked about last term with that talent caucus I mentioned earlier. And we were there used to be an organization called ArtServe. It's a statewide organization. It's now called Creative Many. And they have a lot of documentation that shows the economic development engine that it is. It's a huge economic engine, arts and culture and heritage. So that, it's all within that same umbrella. So I definitely think there are opportunities. With this current budget, I don't really know where we are on that, but I definitely think that it's something that it should be on the front because it does differentiate your communities. Again, to talk back to my local government experience, we actually had an arts and culture commission. We did a lot around with our heritage. We started finally a historic district commission, which was really great. We had the commission, but we didn't have historic districts, so because we have some older sections, older neighborhoods that have some beautiful homes. That there's, when you have a historic district, it actually improves the economic value of that district. It really is and Lansing actually has some great examples of that. So we did a lot of research on that before we introduced it to the neighborhoods because there was concern about regulation again with the government. But there's always that balance, right? And so the heritage and then culture and the arts, we have a little arts community that is housed where people can come together and do arts, pottery and other come together. Again, it's that whole bringing the community together. Just for your idea about the park, we have a really fun thing that our rec director started called Movies in the Park. And they have it's a blow-up screen, and you do a family camp out and spend the night, and it's a really fun time for the family. So that might be something in that cool park thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, arts is really important to the future. I think also with the way that our economy and the way we're applying our education. Arts is really important in the whole. We didn't talk a little bit about music, but that really helps with math skills, and it's really documented that it really helps with the collaboration. Doing arts as in education as a young person really contributes to their ability to be a better employee in the future. So there's so many different layers on why it would be great to have more support of the arts in the future. I definitely support that, and I know our talent caucus will be working on that, but. There's a lot of different pieces, and what comes out of it, in a bipartisan way, will be really interesting to see. But thank you for that question.
The Delta Township Library was a wonderful addition.
Yeah.
That is used so much.
We're very proud of it. And, libraries really do become, they're more than just a facility that lends out books.
Yeah.
Libraries really do become the center of the community in terms of all the various programs and classes and activities that take place at the library on a regular basis. It really is something that we're very fortunate to have in this community.
Take one or two more questions in the sake of time to make sure you guys can get home and get to dinner. Anyone else have anything? Okay, all right, well, just wanted to thank you all for coming out tonight. I hope that this is only the beginning of this conversation, not only in this community, but, you know, across the state. I think things like this should be happening, and we should all be getting involved in communicating and economic development and opportunity in all of our neighborhoods and our communities. So thank you for coming. Feel free to, you know, come and talk to our panelists. There's some snacks over here on the side. Grab some water on your way out. Leave your information if you guys want to learn more about Gretchen or about either any of the panelists tonight. But yeah, thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and enjoy the rest of your night.